Hi, I'm Maria Ingold, and I'm with my company Mariality. I consult in video technology and how AI is going to impact that. So, how do we use it to make money and save money and do so ethically? So, that's what I've been seeing a lot around here at SportsPro AI. We're out here at the stadium, which is really exciting. And so my key thing here is how are we making money and saving money? And I'm seeing a few different kinds of things. So one of the panels that I was actually on, we talked about how do we monetize archive content, for instance. And that's a key thing because we have to remember that sports isn't just about live content, but that we also have the historic content, and people may want to know more about a specific thing. The example we were giving was, riding a horse that's going to throw you off. It's the toughest horse to ride in the world, and you may want to see more of that. Or you may want to see more about what your opponent is doing in tennis. That was also talked about here. And really start evaluating how they're playing so you can formulate how you're playing against them. Or how other players are playing on the pitch and what moves you could have taken in order to score that goal or to make that pass. So there's been a lot of really interesting pieces of information here at this conference. I highly recommend Sports Pro AI in the future, and thank you to everyone who came.
It's happening faster than you think. It's going to be more redefining than anyone can imagine, but it's going to require a lot of experimentation. So I think on the tier one rights, it'll be a while before you see the impact of it. A lot of it is happening behind the scenes. As I mentioned earlier, we're already using it for anti-piracy. We're using it for content safety, fan safety, and making sure we keep a good positive experience and making sure people are using the legitimate channels to watch and not doing content sharing and password sharing. I think on the tier 2 and tier 3 rights, you'll see a lot of experimentation. Everything from replacing the entire way of content being produced to how it's being cut, disseminated, archived, and then made available for the fans to even go deeper. And you're going to see a lot of that, especially with the dozens of startups that are here. They're creating a whole new stack, replacing the OB truck all the way down to the device you're going to watch it on and everything in between. And so it's going to be compressed really quickly, and that's going to unleash a lot of creativity. I think the enrichment side is really interesting. One of the biggest messes, hardest things to solve is enriching your video with really, really rich metadata. You need data to be able to power all these interactive experiences. And what I've seen here is that there are companies dealing with that problem as well, with the video recognition, the video data enrichment that they're doing, and coming up with even alternate views based on the original source video, and just doing that on the fly. So it's taking everything and gamifying everything super quickly. I think the opportunity is there because they're underserved typically. It's where there's the leanest resources, either from the broadcast side or the property itself, depending on their situation of how they manage to get the sport televised. And I think that's where there's going to be a huge amount of experimentation because people want to bring their content to a wider audience base, whether it's purely on digital or ultimately getting a wider streaming linear TV deal. They want to make sure that their content is out there, and there's a lot of really interesting solutions being developed.
Hi, I'm Untangling. I'm the Chief Information Officer of World Athletics. So what is the impact of AI in sport or in athletics as well as a sport? So for me, AI is it's a tool. I think it's a great tool, which is quite, I would say, it's something which is there to stay, a bit like when we had the rise of the internet. I think it's the internet itself is nothing. It's the use case you create around it. Like at the time, is it about e-commerce? Is it about emailing? And I think AI is the same thing. Is a tool which can really disrupt things you are doing. In our case, is what we want. How we want to leverage AI is how do you process the millions of data points we receive for each attempt? How do you tell different storylines? How do you evolve your TV product using instant results, for example, which is relying on artificial intelligence for data processing? So for me, this is really how it's going to impact your sport vis-a-vis of fans and how people enjoy watching your sport. And then this is really something you will be able to leverage.
So AI is getting more and more important. It's on top of the agenda of every one of us, but it's very important not to forget that it's, by the end of the day, it's all about data. AI had to be trained, or has to be trained with data. The models have to be trained. If your data is not good, probably also what the AI gives you won't be good. So therefore, from my personal point of view, it's very important for sports organizations to get their data right, to get their strategy around their tech stack right. If you are not able to understand who is your fan, what is buying, what specific product a fan is buying, what kind of ticket a specific fan is buying, what kind of content he or she is interested in, data won't be there in a way that AI can really help you. And this is my punchline probably: get your data right, because only then AI will really bring value add. We see that a lot of sports organizations trying stuff with AI, which is very good. I think people are now getting more and more open-minded to try out new things, to try technology, and to showcase that the solutions are really working. And this is something that I really take away from this conference, that now sports organizations, doesn't matter if they advance in tech or not advanced, are trying out things, and this is the most important thing from my point of view. It's not like in the old world that you need a 100% perfect solution and you start to do it. Let's try small things, see if it's working, and then go the next steps. We build a lot of our own software solutions, like we build our own ticketing solution, we build our own e-commerce, we build our own fan app and content management. But yes, for sure, we're not building our own AI. For example, like our data analysts within Eintracht Tech, there's a lot of freely available models out there, like, let's say, libraries that you can use. So it's basically, the AI community is very much open source driven. So it's really possible to take something out of the market, work with it, elaborate it. So since we always think make or buy, everything related to AI has not to be created by ourselves. There's a lot of stuff out there. Nevertheless, in the future, of course, we can train our own models. But at the moment, there's so many freely stuff out there that can be experimented with. And this is, I think, where's the fun all about, because everyone can now try it without having 10 data analysts.
That's great. This is David Guinan of the Cowboy Channel. I'm the Chief Digital Officer. I'm here at West Ham Stadium, the former Olympic Stadium, looking at the one and only Carlo. One of the things I've noticed in the first day is that people have a misconception of what AI is. They think it's magic. A lot of people don't truly understand, including myself, because at the fundamental basis, even the most talented computer scientists don't exactly know what's going on. But what I've gleaned is it's ultimately a comparison tool. It finds disparate patterns between disparate items and connects them. There is, in my case, an incredible opportunity to save time and money by automating a lot of our workflows. We're using it currently to create an ever-expanding, searchable video database of all of our past inventory, our archival content. The way I like describing it to people is, if you upload 1,000 police movies, what happens in a police movie? A car hits a fruit truck, always. Watch a cop movie, you will see a car hit a fruit truck. Now imagine the manpower needed to go through, transcode, identify, find all of these moments. With a lot of the tools that I'm seeing, it can do that with a few keystrokes. Now, abstract that out to sports. If I want to see basically the equivalent of every 100-mile-an-hour pitch from a left-handed pitcher, it's a few keystrokes away. At least that's the promise, and that's what we're working on. Ultimately, my goal is to be able to take a lot of the key metrics of my audience and user behavior and be able to deliver customizable, owned and operated fast channels. I say fast, but I really mean not on large networks, but on my own platforms that are based and constructed on the fly, based on what my individual users are watching. So in the case of rodeo, if it's a female audience that's very into barrel racing, breakaway racing, rather than have the anxiety and issue that you sometimes feel with discovery, having something that's generated for them immediately from our archival content there. It's not available yet, but I do anticipate this to be online, at least on our services, between 6 and 9 months away. In the past 5 years, I do have to say, this is a truly exciting time to be alive. Tech has matured, it's gotten beyond interesting, and it really is nice to have that sense of having your mind blown again, like the first time I saw the iPhone or flew a drone. It really does have that level of excitement of being able to kind of personalize, gain insight, and also just save time, ultimately, and build products that are better.